What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. So I've got a different type of video here for you today. I'm kind of going to give you a behind the scenes look and access to one of our athletes, WWE superstar Sheamus. And oftentimes we don't get a chance to learn about the guy, right? We only learn about what we see on TV, but what I think is very interesting about the transformation that Sheamus has made is that it does give you a chance to look at the guy and the guy who's actually having the same struggles that a lot of you do. Right? We all have our issues, whether we're trying to put on size, whether we're trying to lose fat, however we're trying to change our bodies, we run into obstacles, and it's how we approach them that we get through them that we can learn from. And I think you're going to definitely find that to be the case in this video. But to set the stage a little bit, a few weeks ago when Sheamus came in here with the Usos, which is the video we put up on this channel, Sheamus and I sat down to sort of recap and go over what this was. And really, we were referenced back to the start where Sheamus was at a crossroads. He was kind of at a point where he was either wanting to put on a bunch of size, kind of be like the next Brock Lesnar type, or whether he maybe needed to go the other direction, which is what my suggestion was, because at the same time that wanted to know what he wanted to do, aesthetically, athletically, I always have a focus on where we got to get to. He's not a younger guy, he's over 40 now, and at the same time, he had some aches and pains, he had some nagging injuries that I think it was really important to address so that we could sort of, set the stage for him to stay around for a lot longer. And those are some things that we talk about as well. So I think the whole thing here, guys, you're also going to get a peek into what he's like as a person. I think you can see genuinely right away, he's a great guy. And again, you don't always get a chance to see that part of the athlete. It's just whatever we see on TV, especially wrestling depicted in a very, very different way. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this and find it very helpful. With that said, let's get it started. I'm here with WWE superstar Sheamus, and he might look a little bit different to you guys, whoever has been following this transformation, because it's been a big one. And I want to talk to you about what you've been doing. I want everybody out there to know, how did you do it? Because just like anybody else, sometimes people think, oh, he's an athlete, it's got to come easy to him.
Yeah.
Has it been easy?
No.
Okay, so for that reason, I want people to hear what you've had to do it. Now, again, here's what we're talking about, guys. This is the transformation here that you can see for yourself. All right, so let's rewind a few months. You and I got together.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit, and you had some questions for me at that point.
Yeah, so I decided that I thought it'd be a great idea to put on a lot of extra pounds to make myself look bigger in the WWE ring, more imposing. Unfortunately, what happened was putting all that extra weight in, I put on a lot of body fat. Mm-hmm. So my biggest fear has always been, like, you always think in your mind you want to be bigger. Maybe it's the bodybuilder mentality when I started, because I started young training, and you always think bigger is better. But I was always afraid to get like really lean or drop all that weight, because I felt like that would translate onto TV or in real life, where if I'm not looking big or I'm not filling out like a t-shirt or a jacket or whatever, that means I'm not where I need to be. I feel like feel less adequate, whatever, because you always feel that idea of training when you first go to the gym and start lifting is like being able to, like, your arms popping in, in the sleeves of a t-shirt, or you just, I guess it's that kind of self-conscious feeling or image you have. So that's why I talked to you about. You were telling me that, no, I think you can drop this weight, stay lean, but also look big
and look bigger.
Yeah, and I was just like, I was having an internal struggle with that.
Which is tough, because a lot of guys that have gotten themselves to that point, it is tough to think about becoming a little bit smaller in size because of the weight loss. But what actually happens, and we preach it all the time, is that as you become leaner, and we're not talking about getting weak in the process, but as you become leaner and you train and you maintain your hard training, you're not sacrificing the difficulty of your training, you will actually start to look way more muscular. The changes in appearance actually become much more muscular, and especially in how you look. People will actually say you look a lot bigger. Guys will say that I look like I'm more than 200 pounds. If you stood next to me, if I stand up right now next to Sheamus, you'll know that I don't weigh over 200 pounds. But it's the appearance that the muscularity creates, so it's always a good thing. Yeah,
so we had the conversation too, like we talked a lot about diet and Nutrition, excuse me. Yeah. Diet's not that word.
It's a hard habit to break.
No, it is, because that's that word, the diet word, like you're on a diet.
Because you did diets a lot of times before.
Yeah, I have tried, and I've kind of ping-ponged up and down. But we talked a lot about nutrition and the training I was doing as well. I started changing my training. Like if I was doing, for bench press, for example, I started off with a wider grip, which was what you recommended. So the weight obviously there kind of dropped a little bit. Not too much, but you know, but just to get that more of the, you know,
a little bit more intentional, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just moving the weight,
Yeah.
which is what you were focused on, now you're actually focused on creating movement from the muscles you're trying to stimulate. And that was a huge difference. And if it does require a slight drop in weight, I always say that our bodies don't necessarily know the numbers on the side of the dumbbell or on the side of the barbell. It's what they know is the tension that the muscles are creating. And almost by lessening the weight a little bit more, you actually created more tension.
Exactly.
It can almost become harder.
Yeah, exactly. Even like doing anything in back, if we're doing like pull downs or seated rows, every rep is that squeeze for 2 seconds at the top. And right away, the next morning you wake up and you feel like your body's in shock because it's not used to training that way. And you really are, like, the first rep is just as important as the last rep. So I changed my training that way, but also the biggest problem I've had is like being on the road all the time and having drives up to 3 o'clock in the morning. It was all about nutrition. Like, you know, I've been eating healthy for the last couple of years, but the problem is, like, even if you're eating healthy, if you take in too many calories than what your body is burning off, then you're going to store body fat. It's as simple as that. So I was able to just track macros a bit better. On the food I was eating, and I combined that with fasted cardio and your workout training tips that you gave me to create a leaner, more rounded muscle, more
You're moving better too.
Yeah, moving a lot better. Like
Feeling better?
Way better. Like I started in WWE on TV when I was 31, and I'm 41 now, mate, and I feel better than I did at 31 years old, and I know I look better as well, and that's just come down to the fact of just taking control and being accountable for everything I'm doing on a daily basis. And it's all about breaking habits, and it's all about not taking shortcuts.
Yeah.
And that's what's been a huge difference to me. So I literally feel better than I ever have in my entire life. This is a great feeling. Like, from where we were to now, like that conversation we had, and like, you don't think of it right away because it's not an overnight process. And that's what I think what people have an issue with. It's like, oh, well, they want changes right now. You want something to happen right now. But like, if you stay the course and you're patient and you know what your goal is, like to where we are now, it's like, what were we in? Just in March. To look back on that, for the pictures you saw, it's just unreal.
People don't understand that. Like, they 6 months looks like a long time away, and like, I don't want to have to do this for 6 months. But if you do it day by day, so a few weeks ago we met up with Amir Khan, #1 Bollywood actor, who goes through some incredible transformations for his roles. Sometimes he has to put on excess weight. Other times he has to get himself in incredible shape. He said that the thing that he does when he makes his transformations is he doesn't focus on the end goal because it looks too insurmountable. You know, if it was like a mountain, you wouldn't stare at the top of the mountain. Instead, you'd stare at the path in front of you. Because the one thing you know you can do is you can take the next step on the path, right? You know you can move 1 foot forward instead of having to look up, because then what happens is after taking a series of steps, which in your case, 6 months later, when you look up, the top of the mountain's like right in front of you, right? As opposed to when you looked at it from the very beginning, it looks like it's not something you could actually tackle. So I preach that mentality. I think it's extremely important. And even they mentioned with the macro counting, it's funny because we don't even really recommend people count macros to the point where it becomes a mathematical chore. It becomes something that is something you actually despise and you don't want to do. So you have the easy out for like, I got tired of doing that. It's not necessarily about that. For you, it was about awareness. Like, counting macros for you was more of an awakening to actually realize what it was, because it was too haphazard. It wasn't. It was too much. Unpredictable. Especially you add into the schedule that you guys follow, in late one night, skipping a meal the next day. Everything was so unpredictable, and you add to that the fact that you didn't really have any awareness of what you really were taking in. And it was a recipe for disaster, no pun intended.
No, it's great. It's just, I said, like, you know, you can eat healthy and you think, why am I still putting on weight, or why am I not losing weight? But you can eat healthy, but at the end of the day, even a healthy meal has calories in it. And if you take too many of those meals or you overeat, then you're not going to lose weight. And when you talk about the mountain, that's exactly what it was. Where I'm at now and where I was then, like, to think where I am now, it's like I didn't believe, or I didn't really foresee me getting as lean as I am at this point.
So where to from here?
I just gotta keep going, mate. I'm just enjoying the process. I really am. Like, obviously, Goodwill are doing a great job because they've got all my clothes that I had, suits and everything. I put them on, put a t-shirt on now, and I feel like I'm wearing my dad's t-shirt as a teenager. But I just want to keep going. I want to see where this process goes, because with Celtic Warrior workouts, the mentality is brave change, stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's not just about working out or trying different workouts. It's all about with your body as well, and your diet and everything that comes with it. And this has been, this whole channel and everything for me has been a process. It's been like a journey. Yeah. So I'm going to keep going as
if you guys haven't already done so, subscribe to Seamus's channel. Follow the journey. I mean, again, it's not just your channel slogan about brave change. Like, you literally do it. You've done it yourself. You put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You put yourself out there, even with me, and saying, this is what I look like. I'm not really happy. What can I do?
Yeah.
You know. And then you followed through, which is something we talked about off camera. Follow through, guys. Don't just set your goals. Follow through on them. And yes, take it on that step-by-step approach, but make sure at least you're taking that step. Follow through, and great things will happen. You'll be very surprised at what you can achieve if you just do something about it and not just keep talking about it. One last thing, just in case the people, this is social media. People will accuse you of saying, he doesn't look like that in real life. Can I see in real time here that you actually look that way?
We can, but I want to let that sort of thing in. You talk about goals, Jeff. The goal is to have a better six-pack than Jeff Cavalier.
There we go.
If there's not a mountain to climb, there's a mountain right there. So, okay,
let's see.
Let's see it.
What do we got?
No one started throwing dollar bills at me or anything, all right? All right, here we go.
Look at that. Hard work right there. Looks a lot different.
Oh, my breath in.
This picture right here. Can we, and oh wow, he's actually been training too, not just dieting. Talk.
I think I'm stuck in this position.
Guys, like I said all the time, it takes an approach that makes sense, and it takes an approach that you can be consistent with. If it wasn't something he could stay with consistently, he never would have gotten to this point here. Yeah. Find something that works for you guys. Find a nutrition plan that works for you guys. We have one. It's our X-Factor meal plan. We're not taking carbohydrates out of it, guys. I think you guys are trained like an athlete. It's important. We don't want to deprive ourselves. If you're interested, guys, it's over at ATHLEAN-X.com. In the meantime, Seamus, thank you again for coming in.
Thank you, mate.
And by the way,
can I say one other thing?
Yeah, you can.
Just as a kid, I was way overweight. I've always had body fat. So, like, if I can do this type of transformation by sticking to correct nutrition and, you know, like following rules and being consistent, you can too. Like, I'm no different than anyone. I didn't wake up, I'm not no genetic freak or anything like that. It's just about being consistent and watching what you're eating and being accountable for everything you're doing. So as a chubby kid, whatever, if I can do it, so can you.
Yeah,
sorry.
Great. Awesome. So I was going to mention the workouts we did.
Yeah.
So we just actually banged out another series of workouts, a leg workout on my channel that will be posting up here if it already hasn't, and then the other portion on your channel where the real torture starts.
Yes.
And we take the Usos through it as well. So you guys want to make sure you head over there, check him out, and while you're there, subscribe. It's awesome. I'm actually a subscriber of his channel. I follow his journey every step of the way.
As am I of his, and
yeah.
So until then, brave change. Now I'm just showing off.
Now it's just going. Now it's
see that, Jesse? Huh? What do you got, Jesse? What have you got?
See ya.